And it seems to be a question that women tend to get asked about, how do you find your balance? For some reason, men don't seem to get asked that question about finding balance between work and the home and all that. So is there a different narrative we can talk about when it comes to balance? And in today's day and age, I think all of us, we feel pressures of work, of life, of having, can we have it all? And what do we find that's best for us versus every other person out there? Both of you can answer.
We were talking about
we were
this.
just talking
Yeah.
about this. I mean, my feeling is always you have to define your terms of what all means. All is different for everyone. The things that this woman does, what she accomplishes in a day is my year agenda. I don't feel bad about that. Right this second. But so it's what you can do, what you want. What is it that fulfills me will be different than what fulfills another mom that lives on my street with her work life and her home life. And so I think we have to constantly remind ourselves that, the all in having it all, doing it all is different for everyone. Whether you be male or female, it's just different. So my version of all, if I put my head down at night and I feel like I circled it today. I mean, I was in the area of my all. Then I feel pretty good. I have a pretty restful night's sleep, and but it's a myth, really. What the thing that is the, women, can you have it all? Can you have a family? And can you have a career? And can you do all these things? That idea is just to make us crazy, because it's just a headline. It's a highlighted thing to create challenge and, I think, distraction from what we're really doing and accomplishing and what we're very good at. I take a huge amount of pride in my cooking, though her husband might say I take too much pride in my cooking.
That's an inside joke. We won't get into that.
But to find the things that make you feel like you're accomplishing your goals beautifully and joyfully. My mom accomplished a lot of goals and didn't have the space for the joy that my life allows me to have. And I am very aware of that, and it makes me deeply grateful for the joy that I have room and space for every day that she really didn't.
Yeah, we were talking about having it all. It's become an interesting mantra in the minds of particularly women. But it's so stupid. It's a stupid thing to, just to be honest. It's like, no one has it all. No one. And why should we? Because doesn't that sound selfish? Because if you have it all, that means somebody has nothing. And I think that's one of the challenges we have on the planet, is that there's some people think that they should have it all, without understanding that if you have it all, a lot of people won't have anything. So I've learned to think about that in my life's balance. It's like I'm not supposed to have it all. What we fought for as women, I thought, was choice. The ability to make a broader set of choices for our lives. And where we are now is that there's some people that are judgmental about the choices that some women make, And a lot of times we do that to each other as women. Oh, you're staying at home? Okay. That's nice, I guess. Oh, you're working? Well, who's taking care of your kids? We tend to do that to each other. And for me, I had to come to that realization because trying to get it all just drives you crazy. I have never found that I could be the mother that I wanted to be and do everything I wanted with my career. I couldn't do it. Like this trip, for example, when I was First Lady, it seemed like I was doing a lot, but I found that in order to be focused on my work as First Lady and raising 2 kids in the White House, as my staff will tell you, I work 3 days a week. I was like, I am on 3 days. And that means, when I'm on, that means I have hair and makeup. So you better get it all done. Because once I take these lashes off, don't even ask me to come downstairs. And I worked upstairs, right?
I think that's something all of us women face.
Because the days that I wasn't working meant that I was on the soccer field, at the school, I was sleeping, you know? I was working out. I was doing something for me. But for those 3 days, as my staff will tell you, we hustle. It's like hair and makeup on. I will work from 6 in the morning until midnight. That was the balance that I found. And I also found that I could get a whole lot done in those 3 days. I got more because I was more organized, more focused. But I learned that well before I got to the White House. I had to start learning that when I had my first kids, when I had my children. And I was still high-powered, blah, 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 whatever it was at the time. And I was driving myself crazy and feeling like I was doing nothing right. And there was no joy. So I think, Julia, what you say is right, is that we all have to define that for ourselves, but keep that all thing out of the mix. You know, what I've learned is that if we take care of our health, life is long, and what you have are chapters. You know, so when I was First Lady, I would never have been able to, I never did a 2-week trip like this, because for me, being gone from my children was just not something I wanted to be for that long. I would never leave Malia, and that's not a judgment. That was something that I felt. I felt that, first of all, they're living in the White House. That's crazy enough as it is. Their dad is somewhere at some G summit. They don't even understand that. And so now where's mom? What is she doing? She's where? In what country? For how long? You know, for me, I was like, so we would do this trip, the same trip to 3 or 4 countries. We'd do that in 4 days. Crazy, right? Well, that was the choice I made. If I'm going to do this, I'll do this in 4 days. We will operate on no sleep, and then we'll get on the plane and go home and see nothing of the countries that we were in, except for the freight elevator and the conference stage, and then you'd go to sleep. So those were the kind of balancing choices that I learned to make.